previously on the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. Here, he looked awesome. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. He gets a Uranagi. He went for the frog splash, but Theory gets his knees up, and Seth hits him with a stomp. Theory pulled forward back into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Our final two are Seth Rollins and Austin Theory. You probably could have figured that out. And it looks like Theory is going to win until good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, February 25th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host. I'm going to WrestleMania, and next year, not this year, but yeah, it's me, Jeremy Pierce. What's going on, everybody? And we have ourselves a good show for you today. As always, you can check me out on the socials at Charismatic Creations on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram and the 215 on Twitter. The Patreon will be up right after WrestleMania. We're going to get ready for that, and right around WrestleMania time, we're going to start getting more and more videos and features on the channel. But for now, let's talk about today's show. We will be doing Women's Blood and Guts, a little fantasy booking. Let's call it that. We'll call it Fantasy Booking Women's Blood and Guts. Well, what do you mean Women's Blood and Guts? There's never been a Women's Blood and Guts match. There's been Women's War Games matches in the WWE, but no Blood and Guts matches in AEW. Well, if you've been watching AEW, and you should be watching AEW, you know that there's currently a feud going on of the freelancers, Saraya and Toni Storm against the ECW, against the AEW originals, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, and this really should be leading to a Blood and Guts match. So with today's show, we're going to round out the teams, look at the storyline a little bit in depth, and just have a little bit of fun today. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. So, on the news tip, the Elimination Chamber broke, it broke a record. It broke the all-time gate in viewership record. Saw a 54% increase from the previous year. It also marked the largest gate for any WWE event held in Montreal and the largest gate in Elimination Chamber history. Listen, Triple H has been killing it. What can we say? He's had some stumbles, but we keep hearing these stories of gates and buy records being broken, because that's what happens when you have good storytelling. Kyle O'Reilly is making progress after having neck surgery. He is doing better. He's working on forward on getting himself back. As you know, he was out at one point. Same thing with Adam Cole. Looking forward to seeing Kyle O'Reilly back. And my main man, Stevie Richards, Philly guy, he had a little health scare. He's in, he had some surgery. He's in the hospital, and it's tough because he's always been a favorite of mine. What is he gave us a health update, but he is working on his road to recovery, and just check out his YouTube channel. That's where he'll be giving us updates. Rampage on the 17th episode, that was the one that came on at 7 o'clock, right before the All-Star Weekend shenanigans for the NBA, pulled in 287,000 viewers with a .07 and 18-49 demo. That is down tremendously from the previous week, which did 375,000. So they got to do something on these Rampage ratings. They really have to do something. And Raw, their ratings saw a little increase. This previous week's show did a little over 2 million viewers with a 0.56 in the 18 to 49 demo. That is actually up from the previous week. Last week they did 1.8 million viewers with a 0.47 in the 18 to 49 demo. And it looks like we have a date ready for Forbidden Door 2. This comes from cable TV company Spectrum, and they have the dates listed for Forbidden Door 2 as June 24th. We also have Revolution on March 5th and Double or Nothing on May 28th. We also have the Money in the Bank date, which looks at July 1st. As you know, Tony Khan's big announcement was AEW All Access, which is a new reality show for AEW. And it's essentially replacing Rose to the Top. They needed something to replace that, seeing as how, Cody is in the WWE now. Mercedes Moné, who is your new IWGP Women's World Champion. Well, seeing as how we have Forbidden Door, a date with Forbidden Door, she probably will be wrestling on that card. And there could be one of two things that can happen. She can either defend the championship, which I hope she does, I hope she does that against Hikaru Shida, or she teased an intergender tag team match with Kenny Omega. Who she would face, I don't know. I could see it maybe being Mercedes and Kenny versus Okada and Kairi, Okada and Mayu. But we'll see. Dynamite viewership this week back over 1 million. They did a little bit over 1 million viewers this week with a 0.35 in the 18 to 49 demo. That is up in both departments from the previous week. That is good. The WWE will reportedly be running multiple live events in May. So according to WrestleNomics, the WWE are slated to run two big events in May: Backlash and King of the not Backlash. We're looking at the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which will take place that month, and I believe Backlash actually. So yeah, but here's the funny part: one of these will be the day before Double or Nothing. I mean, it's Double or Nothing All Out. I believe All Out. That's staying correct. I believe it's Double or Nothing. It's Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is I'm tripping. I always get Double or Nothing and All Out confused. It will be Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing. There you go. So yeah, it's gonna be weird. That's gonna be a really big weekend for wrestling. We have an update on Jeff Hardy and his DUI case. So what we know now is he has restrictions placed. His driver's license has been suspended for 10 years because of it's a third offense. He pleaded to a nolo contende to all charges. A nolo translates to I do not wish to contend, and it's pretty much a plea of no contest. So his license is suspended for 10 years. He will be on probation, and he will get 38 days credit for time served in county jail. Also, a bunch of other things, but hopefully, this is the start of things looking up for Jeff Hardy. WWE Talent Relations, they have nothing for Matt Riddle because he has not been cleared to return yet, for whether it's for health reasons, his rehab, or even just creative. Have been told, we just don't have anything planned for him right now. Will Matt Riddle miss WrestleMania? It's tough. Anna Jay, she suffered a dislocated rib in the street fight she had a couple weeks ago when her and TJ took on Willow and Ruby Soho. I mean, they go balls to the wall. I'm at Ty Conti, but TJ is their tag team name. So yeah, she just dislocated some ribs. It's not fun. So I wish Anna the best. I love that girl. No, you know I love that girl. The WWE King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown tournament will be taking place in Saudi Arabia. Blood money gets what blood money pays for. The date will be, looks like May 27th, Memorial Day weekend. So, as we know, Double or Nothing will be May 28th. And the King of the Ring and Queen's Crown tournament will be on May 27th. That's a really, really big weekend of professional wrestling. They are planning to sign some AEW stars when they become free agents. They're going to make a play for them. They want Kenny. They want the Bucks. Whereas AEW will try to sign WWE stars whose contract is up. So get ready for a couple big bidding wars. Kenny Omega's in a very good position, even though as his contract is expiring, it has been extended for injury time miss. But he's in a good position. He's got money. He's back to being healthy. This is going to be fun. This is definitely going to be fun. It looks like we have a release date scheduled for AEW Fight Forever, their first wrestling game, and it looks like it will be coming out March 31st. We will see. I will be getting it. I'm going to get that, and I'm going to get WWE 2K23. I'm excited. It's been a minute since I bought a wrestling game. But for now, that's the news, and we shall be right back. So we've got some Fallout shows. We've got some go home shows. That's wrestling. So let's just get into the week in review. Monday Night Raw, we had our Fallout show for the Elimination Chamber. We opened up with Sami in the ring once again, getting a hero's welcome, and he says he's not done with the bloodline, that he failed, but he's still going to do his best to take them down, and he would like KO to help him. KO comes out. Sami apologizes, and KO says, listen, I didn't help you for you. I help you. I let you get beat, but I didn't want to see you get destroyed once again, or because of what happened to me in front of your family. And you want my help? Nah, go get Jay to help you. It's a good story beat, and I like where we're going with this. Baron Corbin attacks Sami after the match. After that segment, trashes him on the mic, and Adam Pearce makes a match between the two, which Sami wins, and the downfall of Corbin continues. Just give me down bad Corbin. Give me bum ass, broke ass Baron Corbin. We had a backstage interview with Rhea Ripley and Dom. Was pretty much to set up their appearance on SmackDown. They really didn't say much here. Ali beats Ziggler with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. We had a promo segment between Paul Heyman and Cody Rhodes, and Sami was still getting chances, so they had Paul Heyman come in quickly, and Heyman essentially said, you don't want to be champion, Cody, because you don't want to be on the road and away from your family. And he evoked the name of Dustin and Dusty and said some other things. It wasn't as good as their previous promo battle that they had, but it was still good. Asuka defeated Nikki Cross. Carmella wants some of Asuka. Seth defeated The Miz. This is one of the better matches we've seen from Miz in a long time. Seth was very, very aggressive here, and he just killed Miz with 3 curb stomps. We had a ding dong hello, ding dong hello, the in-ring interview, talk show, whatever, and it ended with Lita and Becky essentially getting themselves a women's tag team title shot next week on Raw. Candice LeRae was interviewed backstage, and she confronted Nikki. And essentially, Nikki whispered to her that all her friends are gone. So it's either leading to the return of sanity or Nikki and Candice LeRae becoming a tag team. But I want to know where Indy Hartwell fits in all of this. Bronson Reed defeated Chad Gable in a fun little match. I'm just tired of Chad Gable losing. They did tease a little something between Otis and Bronson Reed, but Otis was distracted again by Maxine of the Maximum Male Models. Lashley comes out, he walks with Elias and squashes him. ends him. It wasn't even a match, it was just a beat down. And in the main event, Austin Theory defended the United States Championship against Edge, and he retained after some interference from Finn Balor. This was a good show. It's a fine show. Nothing crazy. Nothing truly awful. Bianca Belair was on commentary. Wasn't commentary, she was at the commentary desk for the Asuka Nikki match. Didn't say anything. She even confronted Asuka, and I just not feeling the storyline. I don't know how they're going to drag this off for 6 weeks up until WrestleMania. Over on Dynamite, we had a solid show building towards Revolution. Orange Cassidy retained the All Atlantic Championship against Wheeler Yuta. OC offered Yuta a hug after the match, but Claudio told him to not comply, and, well, Yuta did not comply. But we're seeing that, you know, OC cares. We're seeing evolution of his character. Ricky Starks tricked Chris Jericho to give him a match at Revolution with the JAS banned from ringside. Peter Avalon wanted to answer Ricky Starks' open challenge, but he caught a Judas effect for his troubles. The Acclaim defeated Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. Jungle Boy attacks Christian right after the match. Christian was coming out for an interview, but Christian gets the upper hand. Saraya defeated Sky Blue. Jamie and Britt run off Saraya and Toni after the match, and Ruby stakes her claim as the next challenger, and will be getting a triple threat match for the Women's Championship at Revolution, with Jamie Hayter defending against Saraya and Ruby. We had some more stuff between Bryan Danielson and MJF, and I'm just ready for the match at this point. Let us get there. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal won the tag team battle royal to be added to the Fatal 4-Way match at Revolution. In the main event, Jon Moxley defeated Evil Uno in a blood bath. Because once again, what's a Jon Moxley match without him bleeding? Lord, it's getting to like New Jack levels at this point. The BCC and the Dark Order came out to keep order between the two sides. Over on Impact, we had our No Surrender Go Home show. The Motor City Machine Guns defeated Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Mike Bailey. Deonna Purrazzo says that she is ready for Giselle Shaw. We had a Tommy Dreamer squash match. Allison Kay defeated Taya Valkyrie. Rich Swann and Josh Alexander had a contract signing, which ends in Swann and Steve Macklin brawling. This kind of telegraph who was going to win the Fatal 4-Way at No Surrender. Cass and Yu Uemura defeated Sami Callihan and Cody Deaner. Mickie James and Masha promos. We had a Bully Ray squash match, and in the main event, Trey Miguel retained the X Division title against Crazy Steve in a Monsters Ball match. And again, we had No Surrender Friday. So what happened on the pre-show? Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw defeated Deonna Purrazzo. Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Jonathan Gresham. It was a really it was a solid match. On the main show, Jonathan Gresham defeated Speedball. On the main show, Frankie Kazarian defeated Khan. The Death Dolls retained the Knockouts Tag Team Championships over the Hex, but I don't think this is over between these two teams. Joe Hendry retained the Impact Digital Media Championship against Moose in a Dot Combat match. Steve Macklin defeated Brian Myers Heath and PCO to become the number one contender for the Impact World Championship. The Bullet Club, team of Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Kenta, defeated Time Machine, the team of Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida. Mickie James retained the Knockouts Championship against Masha Slamovich in the main event. Josh Alexander retained the Impact World Championship over Rich Swann. Over on SmackDown, Elimination Chamber Fallout. We opened up with a 6-man tag match. Imperium defeating the team of Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and Madcap Moss. I'm expecting a Madcap Moss heel turn at some point, ladies and gentlemen. The Viking Raiders attacked Drew McIntyre after the match, but Sheamus made the save. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar having a conversation backstage until Dom shows up, runs down Rey. Escobar steps up to whoop Dom's ass, but Rhea steps in because, mommy gotta protect her man. Paul Heyman tells Jimmy that he needs to deal with Jay twin to twin in the ring. We had an LA Knight in the ring promo. He was confronted by the New Day, which leads to a match, and Kofi wins. This really didn't do much. LA Knight shouldn't be losing to Kofi. Listen, Kofi's a former world champion, and the New Day are great, but they've been subpar recently. Dom confronts Charlotte in the ring and they have some words, and Dom compares to us like, yo, we've surpassed our fathers. Our fathers were scumbags, yada, yada, yada. Charlotte steps up to Dom, and once again, Rhea comes out and Dom holds her back. This is great. Shayna Baszler defeated Natalya. We had a Firefly Funhouse segment. It was weird, it was fun, but essentially Bray calling out Bobby Lashley. Karrion Kross defeated Rey Mysterio after Dominic got involved, and Rey won't hit his son, so we're definitely getting this match at WrestleMania. And Jimmy, in the main event segment, tells Sami Zayn that, yo, you put me in an awkward position, because Sami's like, yo, you were the first one, you accepted me. Remember, we were dogs. We were boys, and you attacked me with no hesitation. And Jimmy's like, you put me in an awkward position, dog. You are my family. I'm choosing my family. Jay comes out, and he's just standing in the crowd, and Jimmy attacks Sami. They fight. Sami gets the upper hand, and Solo comes out to stop him. So Sami escapes, but him and Jay share a look. And boy, this storyline continues and continues and continues. Over on Rampage, the Young Bucks defeated Aussie Open in a fantastic match. Man, this was some good stuff. The House of Black make their presence known, and we will be getting that trio championship match at Revolution. Toni Storm defeated Willow Nightingale, and Jamie and Britt come out to fight. And Ruby also comes out to save Willow, because they are tag team partners. We had a Lance Archer squash match. Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes had some words for Swerve that they're not done with them in the Mogul affiliates. And in the main event, Sammy Guevara defeated Action Andretti. Our matches of the week from Dynamite: Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta for the All Atlantic Championship. Also from Dynamite, Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno, and another bloodbath. I wish Mox didn't bleed so much. From Impact, the Motor City Machine Guns versus Jonathon Gresham and Mike Bailey, because why would this match be bad? It's the Motor City Machine Guns, Jonathon Gresham and Mike Bailey. Also from Impact, the Monsters Ball match for the X Division Championship, Trey Miguel versus Crazy Steve. This was bananas. Oh my God, this was crazy. Why aren't you all watching Impact Wrestling? From Rampage, the Young Bucks versus Aussie Open and Sammy Guevara versus Action Andretti. And from No Surrender, Time Machine versus the Bullet Club, the Knockout Championship match between Mickie James and Masha Slamovich, and the Impact World Championship match between Josh Alexander and Rich Swann. Some good wrestling this week. It kind of sucks that the WWE didn't have anything for us this week in terms of like a high quality match. And our star of the week, I'm actually going to give it to ex-Con Dom. He was just on a roll this week on just both Raw and SmackDown. He's been amazing, and this heel turn has been nothing short of fantastic for him. But that's our weekend review, and we shall be right back. Blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts. Y'all know what Blood and Guts is, aka War Games. Blood and Guts is AEW's version of War Games, and they've had two. They were supposed to be three, but the COVID-19 pandemic shuts that down. The difference between AEW's Blood and Guts and WWE's War Games is that the WWE will hold theirs at pay-per-view events, whereas AEW does theirs on Dynamite episodes. So there's been two Blood and Guts matches in AEW, with the first one taking place in 2020, and it was the Inner Circle: Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz taking on the Pinnacle: MJF, Wardlow, Shawn Spears, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Hardwood. And the Pinnacle won that match. Just go and look at like the Pinnacle: MJF, Wardlow, Shawn Spears, Cash Wheeler, Dax. The outlier here is FTR. Y'all remember the Pinnacle? The second Blood and Guts match took place in June, and it was the Jericho Appreciation Society, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Dan Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, taking on the team of Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. And, well, both matches were pretty crazy. They were pretty nuts. But they know how to put on just a phenomenal event. So why am I bringing up Blood and Guts? Well, if you haven't been paying attention, there is a storyline going on right now in the AEW women's division. Toni Storm and Saraya, calling themselves the Freelancers, are essentially saying that they're better than the other women in the company because they are stars. They are former stars from, well, the E, and they bring star power. They're just better. And that the AEW originals, well, they need to fall in line and fall behind them. And the two heading up the side for the AEW originals are Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. So the question is, who's going to side with the originals? Who's going to side with the Freelancers? And the woman caught up in the middle of all of this is Ruby Soho. She's the catalyst for a lot of this, actually, and it's good to see her featured. So the story from here on out has been, who will Ruby side with? Technically, she is a freelancer. She's an outsider coming in. But we'll break that down. We're going to take a look at the roster. We're going to split everybody up, and then I'm going to round out the 5 potential, who I think should be the 5 members of each team and their reasoning for why they should join. All right. So let's take a look at the current AEW women's roster. All right. So we got to see who's been featured on TV, who has a chance to really be featured in this match. So we're just gonna run it down in alphabetical order. Anna JAS. She is an AEW original, but she's also currently out with some dislocated ribs, so she's out of the question. And since Anna's out of the question, does that mean Ty Conti's out of the question? I don't. What, Ty Mello? I don't think so. So, but I think Anna's out. Actually, the info is Athena. Athena is our current Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, but I could definitely see her being featured in this match. She is a heel, and the Freelancers has to be a predominantly heel team. Athena fits right in, so I'm adding her to the Freelancers team. All right. Charlotte Renegade, Ring of Honor, Dasha, Diamante. Yeah, she has wrestled on the indie. She's wrestled for other companies, especially she's wrestled for Impact Wrestling. Remember, she was a member of LAX. She is featured. I think she has a shot. This would be a perfect way to elevate someone, so I will put Diamante on the originals. All right. Diamante. Next up, we got Emi Sakura. You need a veteran presence, and the Freelancers are definitely going to need a veteran presence, like a strong person. So Emi Sakura has to go on to the originals. All right. Hikaru Shida, the true definition of an AEW original. Question is, why would you team up with Britt and Jamie Hayter? But for now, remember, we're just doing our originals and our freelancers, so we're going to put Hikaru Shida on the originals, okay? Jade Cargill, another original. She's also a heel. So it's tough. She could be involved. She doesn't currently have a TBS challenger, but she did say on Rampage that she's opened it up to anybody. She's quote unquote beating everybody. But I'm going to put Jade on the originals. Julia Hart. Julia Hart has nothing to do with it. She is an original. She's currently focused on the House of Black. She has no reason to get involved here. Kiera Hogan. She is not an original. And if Jade's going to be there, that means Kiera has to be there. So I'm going to add Kiera to the freelancers team, okay? Chris Statlander, who I very, very, very much love, still out with the injury. We're not sure if when she's going to come back, so we're going to rule out Chris Statlander right now. Layla Gray, Jade's going to do the heavy lifting. We ain't got to worry about Layla Gray like Leva Bates. So Leva is an original. I'm going to put her on the team just because she was attacked by Toni and Saraya. Layla Hirsch is out with an injury. Madison Rayne is not an original. She's not going to be really featured much in this feud. She would be a freelancer though, but she's not going to be featured much. Marie Kanellis is not going to be wrestling. Marina Shafir, listen, she really didn't do much in NXT, so I'm gonna count her as she's not even an original. She was just brought in, so she actually would be a freelancer. So I'm going to put Marina Shafir on the freelancers team. All right. Mercedes Martinez, definitely not an original, definitely a freelancer. Badass. Last time we saw her, she lost the Ring of Honor Women's Championship to Athena. Would she team with Athena? But let's go for the sake of the story. We're going to put Mercedes Martinez on the freelancers. Nyla Rose, another true definition of an original. Nyla is an original. Again, we'll get into it later. We're going to put Nyla on the originals, okay? We have Paige Van Zant, Penelope Ford. Ford is also an original. Ford is definitely an original. Could I see her getting featured in this feud? You need somebody crazy. Like you need somebody nuts. So I'm going to put Penelope on the originals. All right. We got Penelope Ford. We have Rebel. She's not wrestling. Red Velvet. Red Velvet is an original. We're going to put her on originals, even though that's on the same side as Jade Cargill. Renee Riho, another original. So we're going to put Riho on the originals. Ruby Soho, for the sake of the story right now, is a freelancer. Okay, so we're going to put Ruby on the freelancers. Serena Deeb, not an original, also not really a freelancer, but I don't think she would get involved in this storyline. Sky Blue was also attacked. I'm going to put her on the originals. All right. I'm going to put Sky Blue on the originals. Okay. Tay Mello, she actually would be a freelancer because she did spend time in NXT doing things. The Bunny would also be a freelancer. So that will put her opposite of her tag team partner and Penelope Ford. Even though she's out with an injury, I didn't include Layla Hirsch. I didn't include Anna Jay. I didn't include Chris Statlander. So I'm not including Thunder Rosa. I just can't. And lastly, we have Willow Nightingale. It's another person featured a little bit in this feud by proximity, just because of she's a tag team partner with Ruby Soho. So the question is, where would she fit? Where would she fit in the story? For now, I'm actually going to put Willow in the freelancers, okay? Now, we have our freelancers. We have our originals. So, let's run it down one more time who our freelancers are, not including the already two members that we have. Athena, Kiera Hogan, Marina Shafir, Mercedes Martinez, Ruby Soho, Tay Mello, The Bunny, Willow Nightingale. Same for the originals: Diamante, Emi Sakura, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, Leva Bates, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Riho, and Sky Blue. Is there a chance for an outsider for the original? I mean, for the freelancers, is there a chance for maybe a Mercedes Monet or a Deonna Purrazzo? You know what I mean? Yeah, there's always a chance. There's always a chance that it could happen. There's always an opportunity, right? But I don't think we're gonna do that. Even though they do call on somebody, they're probably calling Mercedes Monet. She will be wrestling AEW this year at some point. So now we need to build the team. So let's build the freelancers. The freelancers are a little bit easier to build. So we already have Saraya. We already have Toni Storm. So we have Saraya. We have Toni Storm. I think a guaranteed, definite member of the team would be Athena. She's the current Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She's wrestled on the Indies, but she's also wrestled on the main roster on the WWE and in NXT. She's a freelancer through and through. So Saraya, Toni, Athena, that's already a strong team. So we need two more people from the freelancers. So here's a here's a really tough question. The freelancers have to be bad guys. We have Saraya, we have Toni, and we have Athena. Ruby and Tay Mello are freelancers, right? They just had a blood feud. And Athena and Mercedes just had a feud for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So building the freelancers is hard, because can the women put aside their differences to work together? That I don't know. But I will say that Tay will be a little caught up with whatever's going on with the JAS. So here's what I'm thinking. If I'm canceling out Tay Mello, I'm going to put Ruby on the team. I think Ruby, she wants to go at it alone, but at the end of the day, she's going to side with Toni and Saraya. And I'm going to tell you why once I build out the originals team, okay? And because Ruby's on the team, I think her tag team partner, Willow, will be on the team. Right? Because here's the thing. Bunny is a freelancer. She won't go against Penelope Ford. That's just out of the question. All right? And since Ruby and Tay are rivals, That's not happening. So we need one more member of the team. I think that'll be Kiera Hogan. Kiera Hogan will get a spotlight. She gets another opportunity to oppose a certain TBS champion. So let's round out the freelancers with Kiera Hogan. All right. Now, that's 6 members. I'm using 6 to play it safe. Just as a backup, but I think I truly believe that Saraya, Toni, and Athena are the definite guarantees for this feud. Ruby, Willow, Kiera Hogan rounds everything out. Now, there's a giant elephant in the room when it comes to the originals, because the originals definitely have talent on their side of the roster, right? But there's that elephant in the room. Who is that elephant? What is that elephant? It's Britt Baker. You have to ask yourself when you're watching this feud go down, right? Why would Sheeta? Why would Nyla? Why would Riho team up with Britt Baker? Why? So let's just put who I think is definitely going to be on the team. I think Jade's going to be on the team. Jade doesn't have an opponent, so we're going to put Jade Cargill on the team, right? Jade's on the team. Jade and Kiera Hogan, bam, we're done. And because Jade's on the team, Red Velvet won't be on the team. So that leaves 3 more members. And I think the 3 really could be the women that are former champions, right? So I'm going to round out the team with Hikaru Shida, Nyla Rose, and Riho. And you ask yourself, and I'm asking, why would these 3 women team with Britt and Jamie? They've been jumped by Britt and Jamie. Britt and Jamie have cheated in matches against them. They've had multiple matches against them, and it's never been pretty. But we're told right now that Britt and Jamie are the good guys here. So we got to round out the team with the good guys, because we have a bad guy on the team in Jade. Jade's doing it for the money. Flat out. Jade's doing it for the money. And I can see Sheeta and Riho doing this for the pride of AEW. Nyla just wants to have fun. So it's a matter of, can Britt be the bigger person and apologize? Jamie's the champion. She ain't got to apologize for shit. Can Britt apologize? Can Britt be humble and lay prostrate and say, yo, I'm sorry, but I need your help? That's the $1 million question. Because if we're looking at the freelancers, Saraya, Toni, Athena, Ruby, Willow, Kiera, that's a solid squad. But you give me Sheeta, Nyla, and Riho along with Jamie. That's 3 former world women's champions and the current champion. And that's not to sneeze at the freelancers, because Saraya, Toni, Athena are former women's champions. The elephant in the room, the big issue here, is Britt Baker. It's going to be interesting on how they put these teams together. Because we're already about to hit March. And as you've seen, Blood and Guts is usually around May and June. right before or after Double or Nothing. I'm excited because this has the potential to redefine the women's division. This has the opportunity for Toni to show that he actually gives a damn about the women's division. He's been doing a little bit better recently. The women this week weren't shoved into that 9:20 time slot, and the week before they were in the main event. But this has to be major. And Tony Khan doesn't pull the trigger quickly on storylines. He wants things. He wants a slow burn. So here we are. Women's Blood and Guts. I gave you the 6 members of each team. One more time for the freelancers: Saraya, Toni Storm, Athena, Ruby Soho, Willow Nightingale, and Kiera Hogan. From the originals: Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Jade Cargill, Hikaru Shida, Nyla Rose, and Riho. The wild card is Britt and her ego. And will the freelancers go and get outside help? Because they can always get outside help. That's the thing. I'm excited. Let me know what you all think. Would you move the teams around? Do you think I'm correct in ruling out Anna and Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander? But we'll find out in a couple months, 2.5 months. But that's our show. Thank you once again very much for listening, for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow, man. I'm trying to grow and grow and grow. This is what I love, man. I want to do this for you all. Come back Tuesday or Wednesday on the Instagram to see the new schedule for March. We will have, how many shows we got for March? We have 4 shows scheduled for March. 2 of them will definitely be on one of them will definitely be on Revolution. The other will be on Wrestlemania. All right, but that's our show. Don't forget to check out the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. The 215 on Twitter. And as always, Zaya, Shotzi, Willow, and Gigi Dolan. Holla at your boy. Peace.